Hey guys, we are back for another video. Now, we've been watching this Kandi and Todd situation extremely close. And I'm just letting y'all know that we missed something. And I sure missed it, but I got it today. Kandi filed for divorce. And Todd has contested this divorce. Now, this is something that we missed, and I'm gonna show y'all the receipts because I know y'all dealing receipts over here. So I actually saw this when I originally pulled the documents, but I overlooked it. But this actually was filed as a contested divorce, and we're going to get into this because this is the question that everybody wants to know. Was the prenup unfair?
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
And I'm going to do this because a lot of times y'all be asking me like what lipstick and stuff that I be wearing. And honestly, a lot of this stuff I had, for so long, I really never even paid attention to the name. But I said I'm going to pay attention now because I really don't be knowing. Well, I'm not a shopper like that. I don't go out because it's a sale. I'm just not that type of person. I used to do that a long time ago. I saves my money and I only buy the stuff I need. Well, y'all know that I love wearing my red lipstick. I have two. I have a Fenty and then I have a Ruby Woo that I didn't even know the name until y'all asked me. Y'all forced me to look. But I won't say this weekend. Yesterday, I went out because I said, I am tired of my red. I used to have a pink that a girlfriend of mine, she does cosmetics and she had this pink that I loved. And I had bought so many of them and I realized I don't have any more. So my pink was really low. So I ran out to Sephora. Sephora is my store. That's where I get all of my makeup from. I go there because it's kind of like a one-stop shop. I can get anything from there, regardless of what brand it is. I can get it. Well, yesterday I went and I got this. This is Fenty. Do I got it upside down? It looks right to me. Okay, so this is Fenty. And this is called Flamingo Fling '05. And here it is. This is what I have on. It's a pink and I liked it, y'all. It's real jazzy because when I opened it, it was like an F right there. But this is it right here, and this is what I have on. Now I'm telling y'all now, don't be in the comments asking me what the lipstick or what color, because I'm not gonna respond. I told you right here, it's the Fenty Beauty brand, and it is the Flamingo Fling '05. Okay. Now that's enough of free advertisement. I just did this because y'all always be asking. And honestly, I don't be trying to be funny. I don't know because my makeup is stuff that I had forever. I just never would wear it. So I said, let me just start putting on makeup. But this is new. So I'm letting y'all know now what it is before y'all be like, what's the name? Because I really don't know. So let's get into this Kandi and Todd situation that we have been talking about. Now, you guys, I was watching a video earlier and I'm going to give a shout out to the Fit Lawyer ATL. Her and Simon Gubadia's attorney was on live and they opened my eyes. If y'all haven't watched it, go check it out because I'm not a lawyer. Of course, I'm not. I'm just reading it based on the information and the knowledge that I have. Lawyer friends, people I know. My cousin was a lawyer, so I do know people. That's lawyers and stuff like that. But we not sitting down. They're not teaching me the law. I didn't go to school for it. Now I do got a master's, but honey, I didn't go to law school. So I want to get into this video, okay? Because this video that they did, it really opened up my eyes to a lot of things that I didn't know, okay? And one of the things that I would like to talk about is, was this prenup unfair? Was it unfair? Think about it, guys. When they did this, it was 11 years ago. Who would have known that they would have opened up all of these restaurants? We're learning that they own commercial buildings, things of that nature. What if the prenup did not address that? So we're going to get into Fit Lawyer ATL. She did a video with Simon's lawyer, Attorney Ferry. I hope I said her name right. If I didn't, forgive me, but I think it's Attorney Ferry. And they are talking about Todd and Kandi's divorce. So I'm going to let that video come up in 1 second.
Of their money.
And it's
30 years
natural.
of her money. Years of their money.
And it's
30 years
natural.
of her money.
Right, because it's their money. You know, everyone's saying hers, but you know, the money that they amassed together after 2014 is their money.
You're
and
right.
that's just the law in Georgia. Whenever after you say I do, anything after you say I do belongs to the both of you. Now, and that's the default. Now, the prenup, the purpose of the prenup is to carve around that default and to say, okay, after we say I do, here's what's going to belong to you and here's what's going to belong to me in the event of a divorce. So yes, so most prenups, this is what most prenups say. So again, I don't know either of them. I'm not representing either of them. I have not seen their prenup. I highly doubt the public sees their prenup because I'm sure it contains a lot of personal financial information if it was done correctly. So with the prenup, it carves around that default of what we make together belongs to both of us. In the prenup, you can say anything we start together that has both of our names on it. Like if we purchase a house, if we purchase a vehicle, if we start any businesses with both of our names on it, then in the event of a divorce, then we'll both split it 50-50. Or it's not uncommon for one spouse to say, you know what, I'm bringing in majority of the income, so we'll split it 70-30, or we'll split it 60-40 or 80-20. But anything that I've had from before, if it continues to grow, it's all mine. You know, I'm sure that's what her prenup says, because for it to say otherwise is pointless. So I'm sure her prenuptial agreement probably says anything she had before him, any businesses, any royalties, any properties, even if it grows and increases, or even if you help me with that business venture, Todd, even if you contribute to it, even if you support me, everything you do is just a gift. It's still mine. That's what most prenups say. And his will probably say the same thing. Like anything he came to the marriage with, if he had any properties, I don't know if he had any homes in New York, if he had any cars, any assets, any accounts, anything that grew that was in his name that he had beforehand, he may say, look, it's all mine. But if we have something together that we venture towards, then here's how we're going to split it up. But even then, when you have a prenup that says, here's how we're going to split it up, you still have to figure it out. You still have to, you know, draw the line and figure out how to split up those businesses. So even though people think that prenups make things clean cut, sometimes it's not always clean cut, especially if everything is not spelled out to a T in a prenup.
And see, this just lets me know why Oprah never got married. I'm not doing all of that. Let's just stay right here. You know, I'm gonna take care of you. We're gonna be good, but we're not gonna, because I don't have to do all of that, right? Because it's no common law marriage, right? So we don't get married, we don't mix all that together, and we don't have to do all of that. That's a lot. That can be a lot, right?
It is.
Like you said. So you had a song that came out prior to meeting me, and I help you go on tour, I help you blow, you know, do this. I don't get any of that. But if it's in a prenup, that's messed up, right? If I'm keeping the kids while you going on this escape tour, y'all done blown up again out the blue, I think that might be reasons I might want to challenge the prenup, right? Like, it's not fair. Like, I didn't know you were going to do all of that, revamp your career, become this, and you know, all that you did when I agreed to this prenup. I thought you were kind of like at the end and we were going to be supporting me and pushing me up. I didn't realize, you know, you were going to rebrand and blow up even more. So that could be a reason they could go back and challenge, right?
It could. You know, one of the things that, so there's really three main grounds that the Georgia Supreme Court indicates are reasons for challenging a prenup. One of those is whether there's been fraud in executing a prenup, like somebody lied, he wasn't who he said he was, she wasn't who she said she was, whether there's duress, like someone felt pressure to sign the prenuptial agreement and they didn't have a lawyer, they just got the prenup only a couple of days before the marriage. You know, it had all these terms that they didn't understand. They were just under that duress and forced to sign. If there was some sort of misrepresentation or somebody didn't disclose all the assets, all of that serves as one grounds or basis to challenge a prenup. The second basis or grounds where you can challenge a prenup is if the prenup was unfair at the time that it was drawn up. So let's say if someone one of the parties has $5 million worth of assets and several businesses, several homes, cars, and the other party is, maybe a 9-to-5 worker. Maybe they make, $15 an hour. They make a modest living. And the prenup says, in the event of a divorce, you get zero. I keep all the assets. You get no alimony. You get no attorney's fees. I essentially take everything. That could be considered, unfair at the time or unconscionable at the time that they executed it. And then the third basis is exactly what you were saying. You can argue that the prenup is unfair and unreasonable today, because back then, I didn't realize we were going to amass all of this. I didn't realize you were going to skyrocket and get all of these awards. I think I know she's on her track to get the EGOT, I know Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. I think that's what it stands for. And so, I think she's accomplished all of those, but one maybe, or I'm not sure. But, maybe he'll say, I didn't realize we were going to be this big hit on Broadway. I didn't realize that, we were going to have these 2 children. And this is the life we would have had. He could make some of those arguments and say, well, back then, 11 years ago, it was fair. But now we need to dust off this prenup and revisit it. And no, I don't think the terms are fair anymore. But here's the issue and the challenge that he's going to have with saying that he didn't foresee these circumstances. It'll be different if when he married Kandi, she was just an everyday person. It would be different if she was just your everyday person who just loved to sing, loved to act. And then during the marriage, she blew up. That's not who he married. He married her when she was on a hit television series. He married her knowing that she was a Grammy winner, knowing that she was an artist, an actress. She's a celebrity. He married her in that celebrity status, and she's been that for years, since she was a teenager. So it is foreseeable that in the future, her fame and her wealth will continue to grow. So if he's wanting to have that argument as a basis to challenge the prenup, he's going to have a hard time. You're going to have to really prove that the Kandi Burruss was not going to be this, even bigger personality and bigger entertainer and celebrity now, because you married her that way.
Yeah.
So I don't know that that's going to be a valid argument for him. He's going to have to dig a little deeper and try a little harder to challenge the prenup if that's what he wants to challenge.
Now, I think they gave some really, really valid points on both sides, because we're not talking about this solely to say, Kandi is going to pay Todd XYZ. We're not saying that Todd is going to walk away with all of this money. But what we're doing is we are saying what has actually happened, okay? And let's get into it, because the purpose of this video is I told y'all Todd contested the divorce, and I told you that I saw it, but I didn't realize what I had saw, me knowing that it was a contested divorce. But I said, why would it be a contested divorce if she just filed it? Like, he didn't even reply. Well, let's get into that, because that is what they spoke about. You see this document right here? What does it say? Divorce contested. Now, when she filed it, keep in mind, Todd has not responded. Somehow, Kandi knew from whatever conversation she has had with Todd that this is going to be a contested divorce, because this is how she filed it. Now, let me kind of piggyback on that. It wasn't until I heard those lawyers speaking, and the lawyer said it is a contested divorce. And I said, wait a minute, I did see that, but I'm not a lawyer, right? So I may see it, but I didn't realize that it was truly contested, because I'm not a lawyer, for one. And for two, I knew that Kandi had filed for divorce. I also knew that Todd had not responded. So in my mind, I said, how could it be contested if he has not responded? Well, something has happened that Kandi has already come to the understanding that this is going to be contested. Now, I know in y'all brain, some of y'all like, Todd want her money. Let's get into the points that these lawyers pulled out in their video, which She said, now this is a family divorce attorney. This is Simon's attorney. She said there's 3 main grounds for contesting a divorce. Fraud. You lied about something. Let's say you got $30 million and you said you was only worth 5. Okay. Duress. If a person was pressured to sign days before the wedding, and y'all, we have talked about that, and I have a clip where it looks like it may be a little duress to me, but some people say that it ain't. I'm not a lawyer or a judge. The court would have to determine that. But if somebody was put under pressure to sign this what is the damn thing called, a prenup, before the wedding, think about it like this. You are in love with this person, you want to marry them, and you're thinking, although you know you guys are going through a prenup, you're thinking that everything is smoothly, and then wham bam, they hit you and say, you got to have your ass out of here in 30 days. If we don't make it, you're going to get out in 30 days. Now, the person telling you that you have to be out in 30 days. Now, some of y'all want to call Todd such a bad person, but if the shoe was on the other foot and it was a woman, y'all will be thinking differently. This is how y'all really have to change our way of thinking, because when it's a woman, you think it's okay, but if it's a man, you think differently. See, the world don't work like that. We live in a society where you have the man making all the money, and then over here you may have the woman making all of the money. If you look at Mona Scott and her husband, Mona does, from what I know, is she's out and he is the homemaker. This is the roles that we play today in the world. Now, back to what I was saying. Okay. If he felt pressured to sign this prenuptial agreement, it can be contested. Now, one of the parts when I listened to their video, which really made me say, okay, now I get it. One of the things that they said was the prenup unfair. Okay, let's think about it, you guys. Back when this prenup was created, things were very much different. They didn't have children. They had not amassed these restaurants. Now, I know that the restaurants have closed. I think someone said that there's one open. But what I'm trying to say is circumstances has drastically changed. So that prenuptial agreement that they had 11 years ago may not fit the circumstances of today. Let me give you an example. And one of the things that was pointed out was Todd pays all of the bills over at Kandi's house. Think about it. That's okay that he pays all of the bills. But this is where it can be a bit of a problem. Todd is paying all of the bills over there, but Kandi is the one reaping the benefit, because if you ever own property, you know that your property value goes up. So where he is more than likely paying the bills, and I'm going to show you a clip where she says he's paying all of the bills, he doesn't get any benefit in this property appreciating. Now, if it's a circumstances where, we saw Kandi, revamp that place, she put a lot of money in there. So maybe, they maybe want to look at it instead of 50-50, maybe 70-30. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, how is this prenup acceptable for today, being that so many things have taken place? And it kind of leads you to think that this separation, this divorce is strictly tied to finances, okay? Because Kandi, in her filing, I'll put it back on the screen, she said that this divorce is contested. Why would she think that the divorce was contested? Obviously, she had some kind of conversations or something with Todd that led her to file this document in this format to say that it was contested. Now, when I tell you all that Todd pays the bills at the house, this is just one of the videos in which Kandi said that.
No. See, well, that's the issue. Well, I did buy the house. He pays the bills.
She bought the house. And let me just walk this back for you guys. And this is in my previous video. If you guys haven't watched it, go see my video that I posted yesterday. Now, in that video, Todd talks about when him and Kandi were dating. They were in a relationship, not married yet, but Kandi told Todd that she was buying her dream house. So this is a property that she did buy before marriage, okay? But she bought this property, her dream house, but he's expected to pay the price tag. So generally, let me kind of tell y'all how it works. Generally, when the man is paying the bills, he had a say so in the house, right? Because he got to pay the damn mortgage. He want to get something he can afford. Todd has said multiple times that if he had to choose, he wouldn't have picked that house because it's too much to take care of. So understand when I say that the circumstances of 11 years ago may not be fit for today. So Todd is contesting this because when Kandi filed, that is what she put in her paperwork.
Right. But as far as like the house itself,
you own it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
She owns it. Yeah.
I mean, well, I bought that, when we going into the relationship, but he doesn't want the house. So I don't even want people to think, oh, he's trying to get the house, because he doesn't even want that.
She said it. He said it. I'm saying it based on what they said. Todd doesn't want the house. He only went along with it because this is his wife. They're married now. And he just kind of moved in on a situation. If Kandi had already told him this is her dream house, he probably not going to be like, can we get a house together? So he was cool with it. But she states that he pays all of the bills. I don't know about y'all, but I am not going to be responsible for something that I didn't pick. You don't even know what my financial budget is. Don't be picking out some house that the maintenance on it is $15,000 a month and you want me to pay for it? Absolutely not.
Okay. But it's just the fact that when you get divorced, sometimes it can be a long, dragged out process. No. See, well, that's the issue. Well, I did buy the house.
Okay, so in this video that you guys are seeing, Kandi says that Todd actually pays the monthly bills, but the house is in her name. Again, that can be an issue because those circumstances have changed. You understand what I'm saying? He's actually paying the mortgage, and Kandi is pretty much, she has the sole everything with regards to this house. She gets to take advantage of the equity, everything. Now, one other thing that I wanted to say. In their divorce proceeding, or in the paperwork that Kandi filed, she said that their date of separation was July 15th, and we had talked about that. Excuse me, here is that document right here. If we look on this page right here, it says the date of separation is July 15th. Something that I learned about that. The state of separation is subjective. It could mean the last time they were intimate. It does not necessarily mean that that is the date that the man moved out. Now, in her paperwork, she did say that they had been separated, but I wanted to correct it because I learned that the state of separation is very subjective. It could be mentally in her mind, that is the last time she feel like they were together. But what I have learned, and this is very important as well, that when couples are going through a divorce and it's a divorce filing, that they cannot be intimate, because if they are, the divorce filing can be dismissed. So just judging from that, y'all ain't been intimate since July. I don't know. What do y'all think? But I just want to let you guys know that that date of separation is subjective. That does not mean that that's the date he moved out. It could just mean, like I said. Now, when we talk about money, okay, because everybody said what's Kandi's is hers. And I agree, it should be hers. But I think the problem in their relationship is she can't not stop saying that it's hers. It's not, that he didn't know. Who wants to continue to hear that? This is what I've learned. All money after that she's earned after they married is their money. Same thing with him. Okay. Now, I don't know what Kandi is worth now, but it will be interesting to know what she was worth 11 years ago, which I'm sure she's worth way more today. So that could be a problem as well, because it would have to definitely stipulate in the prenuptial agreement how that's going to work out, because in a regular marriage, anything you earn the date you get married is considered yours. Okay, you guys, I'm sorry. Now, in Kandi's divorce proceeding that she filed with Todd, against Todd, however you want to call it, on page, let me blow this up because y'all, I got glasses and still can't see. Now, on page 2, Kandi addresses the issue with the custody of the children. Now, I learned this as well. The parent neither parent can determine who's going to keep the kids or the kid. So Kandi can stipulate this, but I also learned that the judge will determine that. Now, this is another thing to understand. Kandi will pay child support, okay? That is a yes. She definitely will pay child support. I'm going to tell you why. In Georgia, and I learned this a little while ago, they have a calculation. Now, I'm not saying Todd gonna walk away with $1 million a month. No, that's not gonna happen, because one thing about Georgia is not California. They don't give you $50,000 a month for child support. It just ain't gonna happen. If you want that, move to another place like LA. Okay. So they generally take whoever earns the most income, and they do this kind of little calculation. So more than likely, even if the judge awards them joint custody, she is going to pay child support. Okay. And that is probably why in her documentation, she said, I'm going to leave it up to the court, because she already knows it doesn't matter what she put in there. She more than likely will end up paying child support pretty much based on her income. Her income alone is way more than his. So there is no way that she can, get away with not paying anything. And that was smart of her to not waste her time and going back and forth with saying who should pay child support, because she makes more than him, because so there's no way that he will pay. Now, one of the other things I wanted to get into, if you guys remember, I said, and you watched it in the video, she said there were 3 main grounds for contesting a prenup. It's fraud. Somebody lied. I don't know. Do y'all think anybody lied? I haven't seen their prenup. We don't know. Duress. Was Todd under duress? Did he feel forced to sign this so that he can get married? Okay. Were there misrepresentations? Was the prenuptial agreement unfair? Now, I would say, and I'm just thinking outside the box, Todd is more than likely going to contest this, because Kandi has already filed it as contested. So if he were, I would say his chances would be that the prenup is unfair, because, hey, this is 11 years later. Things have changed. The duress part, I don't know. But y'all, let's get into this video clip. Is this giving duress to y'all? Where's my video clip?
Look, I'm just letting you know, they have suggested that we call our wedding off.
It's kind of like either you sign it or I don't want to marry you. That's not fair. Let's talk.
I'm asking you to talk. I'm asking you to tell me, what is it that you wanted to say?
I wanted to become.
Okay. I don't know what y'all think, but from what I'm seeing, he said, listen, you either gonna marry me or this SHI is over. So I don't know. It's giving a little bit of duress. Maybe this, hey, I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Does this look like a forced situation to y'all?
Become a proper document. He said that.
How is it not a proper document, Todd?
I'm not the attorney. Let's call the attorney. Let's call the attorney and let him talk.
Call him right now, please. I want him to tell me what is not proper.
Come on, let's go.
Please call him.
We're going back and forth arguing before we're supposed to get married.
Exactly, because we're not going to get married.
Exactly, because we are not going to get married if you don't sign the damn papers. If you don't sign the papers, Todd, we ain't getting married. So, y'all, is this giving the rest? Come on, let me know.
If we don't have no prenup, and we sit up here arguing about that, I don't even understand why we're arguing. Because if you got, you work, I work, so I'm not understanding what is it that we're debating here.
We'll speak to the lawyer.
You ain't even telling me what it is that you feel like you should be there. Because
I don't know if this was all for the show, but I probably would have said, I don't want to get married, honey, because this don't look cute. Like, listen, you got to talk to me a certain type of way. This ain't it. This is copyrighted information. The only way that I can feature this on this channel is if I provide commentary. Okay, I cannot let it play out. They have a certain amount of minutes that you can let it play. You must stop it. So in this particular clip, Kandi is talking to her attorney, and I don't know what a judge would think, but this is a little bit too much to even watch. Kandi is very upset, but she's upset because he won't sign the prenup. So let me know what y'all think, because I don't know. It's giving the rest. I guess the rest, depending on what you call the rest, but this is the rest to me. So let's highlight what she's saying, because a lot of people want to drag the hell out of Todd, but what y'all fail to realize is Kandi is smart. She ain't dumb. So you think Kandi married a man that just wanted her money? Come on now, I'm gonna need y'all to get up off that. But what Todd is saying, it makes sense. You gonna marry somebody, walk down the aisle. It's gonna be a give and take situation, but you got to get your ass out of the house in 30 days. This man can be ill, he can be sick, anything could happen. But the prenup say get out in 30 days. You can't find a damn apartment in 30 days. Keep in mind, Kandi has stated that this man has been paying the mortgage, but he's been paying mortgage in a house that if they decide to get a divorce, he got to get the hell out of. Tell me how it's
Viewed it.
Okay. Very complicated.
But I'm not just going to.
And in Kandi mind, she feels like you're trying to make something very cut and dry complicated, because girl, you don't got to be out in 30 days. He do. And why she doesn't see it that way is crazy. So I feel like whatever they changed it to gave him more time.
Sign the document right now. So when you call me back, I'll call you. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Todd has never given me any reason to think that we were not on the same page when it came to the prenup. Now that...
So as Kandi describes, she says that he never gave her an issue about the prenup. Again, where to move to rent, let alone finding a house. So I'm not even sure how they got past this. I would imagine that something happened that they changed it to give him more than 30 days. But these are some of the issues that you see leading up to them actually getting married.
Marrying Todd Tucker, not Randy, whatever.
Now, how unfair is that, Kandi? You want him to make a decision about his life without his attorney. And don't get me wrong, I really like Kandi, but the more that I review this, she seems very self-centered. So I don't understand why she even got married anyway, because you want this man to sign something to marry a house that he has. You've agreed that he's paying the mortgage. I don't know, y'all. This is not seeming fair to me. I know that was kind of hard to hear, but what Randy said on the phone, and this is giving us some insight into their actual prenuptial agreement. If something happens within the first 2 years, he gets absolutely nothing. Now, the interesting part for us to ponder on is that there may be something else in there that states after more years, maybe he gets something. I don't know, spousal support, who knows? But Randy said if he doesn't stay for at least 2 years, he gets absolutely nothing. Now, I know y'all saying, well, why would he marry her if he was looking for to get something out of it? Again, the man is paying a mortgage which that property belongs to Kandi. So essentially, you do know in a couple of years the property value, well, the property values go up every year. So he's literally paying for something that he gets no benefit. So I don't think it's all about what he gets. In every situation, somebody is getting something. Hence, if he paying a mortgage and the properties is in Kandi's name, she's reaping the harvest of that, because he can't get anything from that property because it states in the prenup that she gets it. So y'all got to be fair when y'all be in these comments, okay? So again, situation, but I mean, I don't think it's a place where, for anger, because this man should be able to say what the things are within it that's not going to work for him. That's the purpose of it. You either go with it or you don't. But as y'all can see, he's trying to make sure, don't be mad at me, yada, yada. I don't even understand how they got farther than this, because now when I go back and review the footage and everything, I'm just like, wait a minute, y'all, what y'all was thinking? Okay, what was
If we don't work out,
there's other things in there. So again, I know y'all all on Todd ass, and everybody keeps saying he want Kandi's money. Kandi, he trying to get Kandi's money. There's that man signed and saying he got to get out the house in 30 days. Y'all can't count to 30, right? I mean, is it a fast, or is it a slow process, or is it a long, hard process? 30 days he got to get out of the house. 30. If it don't work, get out of here in 30 days.
I found a house in 30
your
days.
relationship, when y'all broke up, did you just keep living together? Like,
No, but if I need some time.
Kandi says, in your past relationship, this man ain't never been married. Do you kind of understand how marriage to her may not be the same to him? She said, in your past relationship, when it didn't work out, did y'all just live together? That's probably why he didn't marry him, because baby, marriage and going with somebody is two totally different things. Marriage is about stability. It's not about, I don't like you today, get your ass up out of here. So she says, when you was with that person, did y'all just keep living together? Why did y'all do this? This doesn't make any sense.
Time to find a place. If we have a child.
okay, well, if we break up, then you can go in the guest house and not stay in the main house.
If we break up, you still get up out of here. Y'all understand what she's saying?
Like the prenup. But meanwhile, his attorney is sending notes, and all those notes are about money.
It's about the money. It's always about the damn money. So it's given this entire divorce and everything between these two was strictly, I won't say strictly, but it seems like maybe their breakup and their separation was definitely about the money. Okay. I don't know, y'all. It's giving the rest to me. Y'all got to let me know what y'all think. This is a lot. If you're getting married tomorrow and you argue like this today, I don't.
Conversation about how we think things should flow.
We did.
You know, all of a sudden, you coming back, oh, my lawyer said we ain't gonna be able to get this.
So Kandi is like, look, we already spoke about this. Now, speaking about a prenuptial agreement and actually drafting it is two totally different things, because what Todd has to do is make sure he's reading and having his attorney, which seems to be Randy Kessler. That sounds like Randy Kessler on the phone. You have to read every document of that prenup. And sometimes the prenups can be 100, 200 pages. So imagine going through that, and y'all have a conversation about a prenup, but the prenup addresses every single thing. So him not being able to look at that with his attorney is just not fair.
I'm like, well, how are we not gonna be able to get it done when I thought we was on the same page?
You know,
so you think you should get some money?
Come on, listen to me. I don't want your fucking money, man. Damn, that's all y'all think about is money.
I don't want your money. This is all y'all think about is money. And I gotta be honest. I feel like Kandi and Todd, I really like them together, but I really feel like money is the thing that ended their relationship, for the sole purpose of Todd gotta always listen to Mama Joyce tell him how broke he is, which the man ain't broke. He definitely has his own money. He had a job when she met him. No, he did not have 30 million or however many she had. He didn't have that, but she also knew he didn't have it. But to make the money a contention of their relationship, I feel like Kandi should have found somebody that was equivalent to the money that she had. I think that would have made her feel better about going into the situation. So pretty much, and if you guys can see on the screen, it says this happened the night before the wedding. So it kind of seems like, they started with the argument about money, how they were going to do the prenup, and it seems like it ended that way. It seems like it ended that way with the money situation because the divorce is being contested. So we do know that based on this paperwork right here, which says that this divorce is actually contested. Now, y'all got to let me know what y'all think in the comments with regards to this entire situation in this divorce. We're going to keep y'all updated with everything that's going on. But again, do you think that this prenup is unfair based on the things that I told you? And the attorney, my fit lawyer, ATL, and attorney Fairies. Okay, so y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. If you think that this prenup is unfair, or if you think it's not, if you think it's fair, let me know that as well.